because you're stuck in this loop of wishing they were different. If only they would stop dating these losers. If only she didn't use that tone of voice. And when you're stuck in that loop, if only, I'll love you when, you're not actually loving somebody, you're judging someone.
Yes, there are moments you need to keep your mouth shut and mind your own business. But there are also moments when staying quiet is the most unloving thing that someone can do. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are getting into Mel Robbins' expert advice. It really amazes me that somebody can take a concept, a two-word concept, and turn it into an empire. But was it actually hers to begin with? Stop. I have a very important announcement that everybody needs to hear. If you watch my content at all, if you've even watched one video, this is for you, especially if you watch some of my John Deloney videos. Or if you just don't give a rip, you can just skip to the time on your screen. Man, I kicked a hornet's nest, didn't I? Jeez. Just so we're clear, I am going to say things that some of you idolaters, noticed how I use a specific word to describe you, that some of you idolaters are not going to like. And that's fine, because y'all take things way too personally on the behalf of people that you don't know. Hence the reason why you're an idolater. And that's really weird to me. But the same type of people that call criticism hate are the same type of people who can't handle criticism themselves. It just reveals a lot about you.
And that's why it's so important for us as consumers, with really our own well-being, to look past the parasocial relationships when we're being advertised to. And so many of us tend to put celebrities and influencers on this high pedestal and glorify them. We make them into demigods that can do no wrong, and automatically give them some kind of credibility for their expertise in a certain subject, or a figurehead for inspiration, or some kind of role model.
And it's half the reason why the internet can be such a miserable place, because nobody can criticize the people that y'all like without you getting your panties in a twist. More on that in a minute. You know, if the comments from the Deloney fans were actual constructive criticism, or they were trying to tackle the validity of the things that I said in the video, then I'd be like, sweet, yeah, let's talk. But nah, y'all just want to say, John gives good advice, you're just a hater, or call me a phobic. That word means literally nothing to me, by the way. You can call me every phobic, ist, and ism in the book. It's not going to hurt my feelings, because the only people that can hurt my feelings are the people actually closest to me. I stopped wearing my heart on my sleeve when I was like 15. I never understood calling it that, like calling it a phobia, because it's not like I'm out here running away from a woman who's claiming to be a man like they're a giant tarantula. Or it's people in the comments that are making assumptions about who I am as a person after watching just one single video. Butthurt people just ain't any fun, man. Like, I'm here to party. Y'all can go blabber off in the corner while I'm over here with my homies who actually want to have a discussion and cut up. If you watch creators such as Sydney Watson, Andrew Wilson, Black Scout Survival, Chase Hughes, Bryce Crawford, or even Asmongold, although he cusses way too much for my liking, then you'll enjoy my content. And it'll get better. I know it's trash right now, but give me a little time, all right? However, I am way more based than a lot of them. But Andrew, on the other hand, like, he's way more based in the area of like traditional values and far more intelligent than I am. His ability to communicate and articulate his thoughts and his beliefs and opinions, it's truly a sight to behold. Like, you gotta put some respect on it.
You're fundamentally a dishonest person.
I mean, that's just kind of something that you don't want to disclose because it's a little embarrassing.
Are you quiet?
Look,
strong
we're
woman.
Not asking
I thought you were a strong woman.
I hope you guys have a really good day. I'm leaving.
Hold on, guys.
No.
You're gonna cry.
Hold on.
I thought you were a strong woman.
All right.
But I'm a very blunt person. If you don't like my values or my beliefs, I don't care. There's the door. Go at it. Go on. Just turn the knob and walk through it. You can do it. I am unapologetically me. My core beliefs come from the good book, all right? So if you're not into that, you don't like that, then that's just too bad. Sorry. I am not a character, nor am I like an exaggerated version of myself. So if you're looking for authenticity, baby, you came to the right place. And I've got my bestie that's always lurking in the comments and watching my videos. So, and I'm talking about literally my best friend for 30 plus years. So she can tell you, she can provide that information. She can vouch for the fact that this is actually me. I am in no way an expert in anything. I am just somebody who flaps my gums on the internet. I detest sin, not the sinner, but I am still going to poke fun at people. Okay, you can poke fun at me too. That's the fun of it. We get to poke fun at each other. I love cutting up. And if we did that more often, you people wouldn't be so dang bitter. But if you don't like my opinions, then let's talk about it, because sometimes opinions can change. And look, if I ever get something factually wrong, I'm not talking about this backwards argument of what is the girl and what is the boy, okay? Those are set in stone and there is no argument there. I just mean if I get something wrong, and it's pointed out to me, I will correct it. Or even if you guys didn't catch it and I did, I will correct it. I will correct the record. I am not above reproach. No one is. Remember that. But something a lot of you need to understand who watch these people. These people that you idolize and are fans of, and you go to bat for them in their comment section and other people's comment sections. These people that you're watching, the big influencers, whether they're on the left, the right, or they're apolitical, or they're self-help gurus just like Miss Robbins here and John Deloney, it doesn't matter. They all serve their purpose. They were all positioned and put into place for a reason. So you shouldn't trust anybody. Literally no one. And that goes for all political figures as well. Like 99.9% of them are corrupt, evil people, in my opinion. And voting hasn't mattered for near of a century. We actually live in the Truman Show, y'all. Just listen to God's word. That's it. Bend his ear. Pray. Talk to your grandmama if she's still here, or your mama, or your daddy. And if you're blessed to have any of them in your life right now, be grateful, because someday the day will come when they won't be around to give you that advice. I only have my mother left, and she's reached that stage in her life that she needs more help than I do in the advice and direction department. So roles end up reversing the older you get. You need to keep that in mind. Talk to your bestie. Talk to your pastor. That's if you have a good one, okay? If not, then talk to your cat.
No.
If you don't have a cat, get a cat. They can provide some helpful tips on proper mental health, how to live life positively. Still nothing? Tough crowd. The dad jokes just ain't landing like they used to, are they? But really, if you still feel directionless, God will lead your paths. You just have to trust him. However, if you still want to go to therapy, there ain't nothing wrong with that. That's fine, as long as they're not trying to shove an agenda down your throat. I go once a month, but most of my therapy is done between me and God. Now my diatribe has concluded. Let's move on. Okay, so most of you probably already know who Mel Robbins is. You clicked on this video. You know, the lady who's made a fortune off of allegedly taking someone else's philosophy and slash idea and turning into a self-help slash life coach empire. Let's dive into one of her videos, shall we? Now, her video is about an hour long, a little over an hour, and I can't cover all of it, okay? So I'm just going to focus on a couple of segments here.
Today, you're going to learn 2 truths about other people that are extremely important to embrace. And the first one is that you cannot change other people, period. The truth and the fact about life is that other people only change when they're ready to change for themselves.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty obvious. I mean, we've heard this our entire lives, haven't we? But of course, that doesn't stop some people from actually trying to change someone. I just didn't think it needed to be said. This is why everybody needs an old school grandmama. That way she can smack the taste out of your mouth and bring you back down to reality. Kidding, I'm kidding. That made me really miss my grandparents.
Violated the eyes. They put something in my eyes and they violated the...
What?
They violated the eyes! Idiot. Violated! You know what violated means?
The second major truth that we're going to dig into is that emotional immaturity is in everybody. That every adult that you meet is just an 8-year-old in a big body. And it's important to understand that adults throw tantrums. And when you embrace this truth in your life, and I unpack it in detail because this is one of the most popular sections of the Let Them Theory book itself, it will change the way that you look at other people. Then we're going to jump into the strategies that you're using right now to deal with emotionally immature people and difficult people. It's not working.
Everybody? Did she just say everybody? Look, I have known tons of adults in my life who needed a whooping, a blankie, and a foo-foo just to calm them down because they had the emotional maturity of a 3-year-old. But I also know plenty of people, my husband is one of them, who are some of the most emotionally stable and mature people that I've ever met in my life. Oh, I really wouldn't say everybody. That's a very broad generalization.
We're going to talk about what do you do when you realize your emotions are part of the problem.
Now, that's something I can actually agree on, because sometimes it is us, right? Sometimes it's our own emotions, and guess what? Sometimes our own emotions lie to us. You make the problem worse by how you react to something. And I ain't perfect. You know, that's happened to me in the past.
Everything that you're about to learn is backed by so much research. It is working for millions of people. It has been transformative for me, and we're going to take them one by one and really break them apart so that you can use the Let Them Theory effectively when either somebody else is all emotional or somebody else's behavior is starting to make you feel emotional like you're losing control.
If you don't know what the Let Them Theory is, she explains it through this entire video. I'm not going to listen to it because the more that I play her video, the more likely I am to get copyright claimed. So I'm going to read you this article because it's relevant. Won't you go on and hit that like and subscribe button for me? Don't you make me beg like a stray dog on your porch now. This article basically explains that Mel is someone who took a concept of someone else's, at least the first publicly published concept in writing, and she made millions doing it, okay? Okay, so there's tons of articles out here that explain the alleged plagiarism that Mel Robbins supposedly took part in. Now, this piece covers accusations of plagiarism surrounding Mel Robbins' best-selling book, The Let Them Theory, and it is a theory that she has built her entire brand on. Critics claim the core concept, essentially telling people to focus only on what's in their control, right? The Let Them Theory wasn't originally invented by Robbins, but was popularized earlier by another creator. Now, there's 3 key people in this controversy that you need to remember, not just Mel Robbins, but there's 2 other people involved. Cassie Phillips, a writer and poet who says she wrote a poem titled Let Them as early as 2019, which went viral on Facebook in 2022 and was already inspiring others before Robbins' book came out. All right. Phillips claims that her work was appropriated without proper credit. Then we have Sage Justice. She's a playwright and author who published a Substack post alleging Robbins didn't credit Phillips and calling the situation plagiarism. Justice has been vocal in defending Phillips' authorship and urging Robbins to acknowledge her. So Sage has basically been coming to Cassie's side in all of this and trying to get Mel to acknowledge that she actually took this from Cassie. All right. This article explains that Cassie Phillips' poem was online and viral long before Robbins popularized Let Them, and that Robbins' book doesn't even mention Phillips at all. Critics argue that this means Robbins is profiting from an idea that she didn't originate. Her team, Robbins' team, reportedly filed to trademark the phrase Let Them, something that's rare because short common phrases typically can't be trademarked, and the application was initially refused. At the time of the article, Mel Robbins had not publicly responded to these accusations, and she still has not responded. Now, some of you might not care about this, but I do. I want to show you when Mel actually shared her discovery of Let Them on social media, okay? On May 13th, 2023, Mel Robbins posted an Instagram reel sharing her discovery of Let Them. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. I just heard about this thing called the Let Them Theory. And holy crap, I absolutely love this. See, even in the post, she admits that she just heard of it. She ends up jumping on this opportunity because she knows that she can profit off of this, right? She says, stop wasting energy on trying to get other people to meet your expectations. Just let them show you who they truly are. And then you get to choose what you do next. Boom. In a May 2023 episode of the Mel Robbins podcast, Robbins describes how the reel received over 14 million views in less than a week. She then goes on to describe the theory in length and how she discovered it after speaking to her daughter at her son's prom photos. Okay, this is whenever Cassie Phillips actually comes into the picture, okay? Phillips claims Robbins took the Let Them theory around this time and started promoting it as her own. She ended up using that to build her entire following. Yes, she did. She absolutely did. That is true. She announced her novel releasing in September, October of 2024, saying she dedicated 2 years to creating the theory, but she had only been involved for a year and a half building a fandom and incorrectly explaining it. Phillips' own Facebook and Instagram accounts are populated by posts dating back to 2022 referencing Let Them in her poem, Best Life. Could not find a direct link to the original poem. On September 28, 2022, Phillips reposted a fellow Facebook user's mention of her, along with a full copy of her poem and a photo of a tattoo reading, Let Them. I saw this tattoo on Facebook the other day, and as I read the meaning behind it, in my body instantly got covered with chills. I needed this. Some of the words I needed to hear I posted below. Phillips captioned the post, I am humbled, just humbled, y'all. I'm going to read this, okay? Let them. Just let them. If they want to choose something or someone over you, let them. If they want to go weeks without talking to you, let them. If they are okay with never seeing you, let them. If they are okay with always putting themselves first, let them. If they are showing you who they are and not what you perceive them to be, let them. This is every single thing that Mel talks about. Every single thing. If they want to follow the crowd, let them. If they want to judge or misunderstand you, let them. If they act like they can live without you, let them. If they want to walk out of your life and leave, hold the door open and let them. Let them lose you. You were never theirs because you were always on your own. So let them show you who they truly are, not tell you. Let them prove how worthy they are of your time. Let them make the necessary steps to be a part of your life. Let them earn your forgiveness. Let them call you to talk about ordinary things. Let them take you out on a Thursday. Let them talk about anything and everything just because it's you they are talking to. Let them have a safe space in you, safe place in you. Let them see the heart in you that didn't harden. Let them love you. I needed this as a reminder to myself. Now, every time I look down at my arm, I'll always be reminded, just let them. On October 13th, 2022, Phillips posted a photo of her own Let Them tattoo on her arm with a caption reflecting on going viral. Okay, she just goes on to talk about this, but down here, on July 27th, 2023, Cassie Phillips made the first mention of Mel Robbins on her Facebook page. Now listen to this. If you're here for Let Them, you found me, Phillips writes. But I'm not sure what you found. Some days I get overwhelmed. My tattoo and my words are everywhere, all over TikTok, trending on Twitter and Facebook, plastered on cups, backpacks, hoodies, t-shirts, and decals. Then when each time a celebrity picks it up, it goes viral again. And then here comes my supporters ready to battle for me. It's a lot and at times too much. I never thought I would make this post. My words went viral years ago before any celebrity decided to monetize it. Yes, exactly. I do not endorse Mel Robbins and her devious use of my words, the poem, and the mantra. She continues, she has yet to release an apology or a statement about the intellectual property theft. Since posting, Phillips edited the comment marked edited December 24, in which she states, I have never been okay with someone paying for words that are free. A support system and movement that is free. There are support groups using Let Them across different social medias that offer free guidance and help. You do not need to buy or purchase a $30 book from a self-acclaimed author to join the Let Them movement, someone who jumped on the bandwagon to make money. Thank you very much. Let's give her a round of applause. Yes, I totally agree.
Truth number one, people only change when they're ready to change for themselves. And you can't change them. So what do? Let them. Let them be negative. Let them be a human porcupine. Let them bring in their emotional baggage. Let them grouse and gripe and complain about everything going on in the world and how awful things are and this, that, and the other thing. Let them ignore the fact that the people that love them are right in front of their face.
I do have to admit that it's kind of annoying that people look at this as some kind of profound wisdom that they just discovered whenever millions have been practicing this theory, maybe not in the same way, but as far as not in the same wording, but they've been practicing this concept for eons. And I'm talking about as far as the aspect of not being able to control anything else outside of you, just your own actions, right? Just your own feelings, your own actions, your own behaviors. So you just accept a lot of situations and just get on with your life, me included. Like I finally figured it out in my 20s. What is going on, guys? What is happening? What do y'all think?
Let them do the thing that they do. Let them do everything wrong. Because it's not your job to fix other people. It's your job to recognize who other people are and learn how to accept them. And it's so liberating to realize you get to choose how much of your peace, their behavior, is allowed to steal.
Yeah, I'll let them. I'll let them over there. like I ain't gonna be around for that. I don't allow people like that to be in my life, point blank, period. Most self-help gurus who hawk their crappy books and their websites and their YouTube channels can be summed up as, you're the only one holding you back. She's one of those who portrays herself to have it all figured out. Why do you think her audience is so big?
And here's the problem. Once you're an adult, without even realizing it, guess how you now show that you love people and that you care about them? By trying to change them. Because that's what we learned. We tell other people that we love what to do. We jump in and fix their problems before they even ask for advice. We believe we know what's best for them. And here's the thing I want you to understand. That's not love. That's parenting. That's not love. That's control.
This is where we're going to have a problem. No. We're not doing that. We're not doing it.
Real love means seeing someone and accepting someone exactly as they are. And it also means seeing someone and accepting someone for exactly who they're not.
I couldn't disagree more with this if somebody had just walked up to me in church and told me that gossip counts as a prayer request. Truth without love is harsh, but love without truth, that's enabling. And enabling ain't love, sweetheart. It's cowardice dressed up as compassion.
And that's why the people you most want to change can often be the hardest to love, because you're stuck in this loop of wishing they were different. If only they got in shape. If only they were more motivated. If only they did a better job picking up after themselves. If only they would stop dating these losers. If only she didn't use that tone of voice. And when you're stuck in that loop, if only, I'll love you when, you're not actually loving somebody, you're judging someone.
See, where I come from and what I believe biblically is this. Real love means telling someone the hard truth when they're headed straight into disaster. You speak up, you let them know that you're worried, you give them the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. But taking her advice, that would mean that I'm supposed to just sit there smiling while my friend jumps into a relationship with a dude that has no morals, integrity, or respect for her, and I'm supposed to say nothing. Yeah, absolutely not. If I see a train coming, I'm going to be screaming at the top of my lungs, move, move, there's a train coming. I'm not going to pretend that the tracks are a sidewalk. Yes, there are moments you need to keep your mouth shut and mind your own business. But there are also moments when staying quiet is the most unloving thing that someone can do. As a Christian, love means truth. If you're not willing to be honest when it matters most, you're not loving them. You're abandoning them. Say what needs to be said. Just speak the truth. That's all you got to do. Then leave it in their hands. It'll be up to them as to what they're going to do next. That's between them and God. Look, if my best friend, shout out to her, by the way, she's awesome. If my best friend in the whole wide world hadn't absolutely shook me awake and helped me get out of this delusion that I was in years ago, due to the person that I was with, I probably wouldn't have met my husband. She came to me out of love. She couldn't stand to see what was happening to me. And guess what? It completely changed the trajectory of my life. Now let's move on to the adult tantrum section, where she said almost everybody on earth is emotionally immature.
I think it's easy on Instagram and social media, just like, well, cut people out, toxic people. But for most of us, the challenging people that we have in our life, it's not that we don't want them in our life. We just wish we could get along.
Some people, family included, are just emotional landmines, right? In human form. And I don't care what bloodline we share. I ain't going to walk through life tiptoeing through explosions. Yes, sometimes you got to walk away. Sometimes you got to slam that door so hard that it echoes through your peace and hits their guilt on the way out. I've done it. Do I wish it hadn't have come to that? Of course not. Why would I want that? I never wanted it. But here's the thing. I'm not going to set myself on fire just to keep toxic people warm. I left. I didn't look back because I know what I'm worth. I'm not here to be someone's punching bag just because we share DNA.
And so I was talking with my therapist about this relationship because I was just like, what am I doing wrong? Like, how do I change this dynamic with this person? And more importantly, why are they like this? And Anne said something I will never forget. It changed my life. You from the Let Them Theory book. This is chapter 7, page 111. She said, Mel, most adults are just 8-year-old children inside of big bodies. The next time you're with this person and you feel yourself getting triggered by something they say or some way that they act, I just want you to imagine the second grade version of them present with you in the room. Because what you're describing is someone who has the emotional maturity of an 8-year-old. And like it or not, that's most adults.
And saying most adults is like a broad generalization. And I'm sorry, it's simply not true. It's BS.
You know, when she said that, I was like, but I want you to just think about that for a second. I'm going to keep on reading to you here on page 111. Else does your mom pout instead of saying what's wrong? Why does your friend give you the silent treatment? Why does your boyfriend send you passive-aggressive texts when you're out with friends? Why does your sister blow up and then act like nothing happened an hour later?
First of all, if all of this is happening all at once, then either you're the problem or you are indeed surrounded by fake toxic people and you're in a situation that you need to leave, like all of them.
It's because adults at their core are just as emotional as children. The difference is sometimes they're better at hiding it.
Acting like anything is gospel out of these people's mouths is just cuckoo, cuckoo. It's crazy to me. If Oprah is hawking your books and promoting you, I'm going to stay as far away from you as possible. I'm going to tell you the major issue with people like Mel. They completely remove God from the equation, and they make you believe that only you can fix your problems and figure it all out on your own without any kind of outside help. And I don't want to hear anybody say, well, I've heard her talk about praying and about God. It's not the same thing. When someone builds a brand off of the self, right, off of you being the one who can fix you, every single problem in your life without any sort of guidance or like direction from God, and never truly incorporating him into your life, that's a problem for me. God comes first. Just imagine if you Mel Robbins fans actually read the Bible and prayed just as often as you watch her content or read her books. We have become a narcissistic people. And I don't mean everyone, but I'd wager at least 30% of the country. That's just my guess. I didn't take statistics in high school. Okay, yep, I'm going to say that it's at least that many because God told us that it would become this way. And guess what? It's only going to get worse. People's hearts will wax cold, and it's going to get intolerably worse to the point where we're not going to want to interact with people on the daily. We're already getting to that point now. Social media and the selfie generation is pretty much to blame for all of this, along with the elites, MSM, politicians. They're the ones who deliberately sow discord. We will eventually become a nation of majority narcissists. I give it 10 to 15 years, maybe. If that. Here's the deal. We cannot control other people's emotions or what they say or what they do. That's true. However, suggesting that it's judgmental to step in whenever you see someone in a situation that could potentially harm them physically, mentally, spiritually, even financially, that's absurd. Like I said, bring it to them in a loving way. Sit them down and show them that you love them. If they don't listen, if they don't try to change it, then at least you know you tried. It's not trying to change them. It's you recognizing a problem and then you offering a solution and saying, I know how this can be remedied, and I'm just going to tell you what the solution is. And if you don't do that, if you choose not to do that, then that's up to you. That's the decision that you're going to have to make because I can't make it for you. And at least you will know that you have tried to help this person, right? But just sitting back and watching someone self-destruct in any way, shape, or form, that's peak narcissism. It gives off the impression that you couldn't care less. You're just going to let them do their thing, no matter where it ends up. When it comes to someone being overly emotional about something small, I have zero tolerance for it. Let me tell you a little story. We're done with mail for now. If you don't want to watch it, I get it. But I have a story. I have a pretty juicy one, okay? I know someone right now who is older, and they get upset at the drop of a hat. Now, they've gotten better about it, but they used to be really bad about this. We've had many discussions, and I don't mean just arguing. I mean actually sitting down and trying to work through it. This person is old enough to know better, guys. They're at pretty much the end of their life. So one day I asked them a question, and I didn't hear their response, right? So I ended up asking a second time, I'm sorry I didn't hear you. So they literally started yelling at me. I had been with this person, as far as around this person, knew this person for about 3 years at this point. They were actually screaming at me. This was not a former employer or anything like that. It was just somebody who I know. I flat out told them to their face that if they're going to disrespect me like that and treat me this way, then I wasn't going to be there. That I would leave and I would never have anything to do with them ever again. That they could just forget I existed. I said, look, I understand that you're frustrated, but I'm just going to tell you right now that screaming at me does not help and it doesn't solve the situation. I said, I'll just go home. I'm not going to put up with it. I don't care what kind of unresolved trauma or anger issues you have, because that's not my problem. It's your problem. And, if I've already tried to talk to you about it and you refuse to deal with it or get help or try to remedy the situation, it's not my problem. But I'm not going to stick around just so you can keep doing it. My point is that you shouldn't have to deal with it. I refuse to deal with it because, look, years ago, I did deal with it from bosses, from employers. Mel's advice is basically to just let them go off on a tangent and make a fool of themselves, but I'm just not built that way because I will be gone by the time you get about the third or fourth word out of your mouth. If you are raising your voice at me or you're saying foul things to me, I'm gone. See ya. But anyway, I told this person that I would leave and I wouldn't be back for a while, if ever. They settled down, they chilled out, apologized, and ever since that day, they've been okay. There's been one other time where we kind of butted heads, but it wasn't as bad. I gave them that look, that look. Gosh, I know you just didn't. I gave them that look, okay? They immediately apologized, and they quit. They can control it. They know when they're doing it. And if they can control it and they know when they're doing it, they're not going to treat me that way. And you shouldn't tolerate it either. Nobody should tolerate disrespect from people, ever, ever. The loving thing is to be truthful with people and to tell them to their face what's wrong if they can't see it. If they have blinders on, and they do. Sometimes that's what people need. They need to be shaken out of a situation and, brought back down to reality. I don't see how you guys watch her or listen to her because I'm just one of those people that I've heard a load of BS in my life from a lot of people that claim to be self-help gurus and life coaches. They're just filling your head with nonsense, and they just want your money. She wants you to buy her book. So, go do that. Everybody has a book to sell nowadays, and no thank you. I don't need it. I've got the only book that matters, okay? The Holy Bible. That's the only one that I need as far as self-help is concerned. My bottom light makes me look like I'm Casper. Look. You see that? Oh. Next video is going to be coming out here in the next couple of days. Give it about 3 or 4 days and I'll get one out for you. And I've got a show coming up, sort of a dating show, sort of, that'll be coming out summer 2026. So many beautiful things planned for this channel. It's going to be fabulous. Anyway, like it if you liked it. Too bad if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.